Erika joins us on the phone. You don't look like those other Najarians, Erika. I can see by your photograph.
No, I look a little bit differently from the other Najarians.
Yeah, but you can never have too many Najarians, Erika. Never. So anyhow, we're glad you're with us. Banks would benefit not really from higher inflation so much as from rising interest rates, right? Which would improve their net interest margin and all other things. They can borrow cheap and lend higher.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you just emphasized right now is even more exacerbated in this coming cycle. So at the end of the day, what makes a bank sensitive, positively sensitive to rising rates is how good is their deposit base. Right now, banks have about 50 cents of loans for every dollar of deposits, and that was 70 cents to the dollar in 2015 when we last saw a tightening cycle. Therefore, just the point that you made, I think we are going to see even more sensitivity and even more positivity to net interest margin this time around.
And talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned the cost of deposits. That's a fancy way of saying what I earn on my savings at a bank. Exactly. It's zero or negative.
Yep, absolutely. And when we last saw 200 basis points on Fed funds, banks passed on about 40% of that to the deposit base. Given the amount of excess deposits there is in the system, unfortunately for you and me, I think the banks are going to only pass on about 29% of the next 200 basis points if we do get another 200 basis points on Fed funds.
Because they like not having to pay that much for deposits, right? It just stands to reason. That's their business. Are you favorably disposed more towards the large sort of national and international banks, or do you like some of the regionals better? Which?
So I like both. Really how we distinguished our calls is, which banks are truly rate sensitive, which banks can truly take advantage of rising interest rates by keeping deposits low. And we think that's going to be Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, but also PNC, a regional bank out of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And we think that rate sensitivity has to be powerful enough to your point earlier on inflation, overcome some of the cost inflation trends that we're going to see on the expense side over the next year.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.